oh, gotta keep this wave alive. Risk it for the game, that's the only sign. Checks is in my favor, see this power never divides. Checks and bounces, stacking up the green. Cash flow heavy, yeah, American dreams. Skills is tipping, yeah, running up the scene. Power in my hand, yeah, hustling supreme. Checks and bounces, stacking up the green. Cash flow heavy, yeah, American dreams. Skills is tipping, yeah, running up the scene. Power in my hand, yeah, hustling supreme. The vision, yeah, blueprint mine. Counting every dollar, turning nickels into dime. Trap game, senator, vetoing lanes. Legend in the making, put respect on my name. Hustle in my veins, got the streets on lock. Wrist stay dripping like a clock, tick tock. I'm trying to balance, but they tipping like a scale. Cashing all these checks while I'm getting all this mail. Racks in the safe, yeah, racks in the safe. State of all, stay full. State of all,
good morning, ladies and gentlemen. 1600 Pennsylvania on the way.
But the book stay clean. I'm a ghost in the trap. I'm the one you ain't seen. Whip it so fast and I leave you in the dust.
Good morning.
Chain and you know I got a tux. Trapping all day, you know the grind don't stop. Making all these plays, gotta make it to the top. Diamonds in my grill, yeah, gleam no flaws. Justice in my hustle, yeah, above the law. Money talks loud, I don't hear no hate. Balance out the game, yeah, serve your own plate. Enemies plotting, I'm 10 steps ahead. Counting all this money while I'm laying in the bed. Hold up, wait up, odds, yeah, let the scales decide. It's profit over pride, gotta keep this wave alive. Risk it for the game.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Checks is in my favor, see this power never divide. Checks and bounces, stacking up the green. Cash flow heavy, yeah, American dreams. Skills is tipping, yeah, running up the scene. Power in my hand, yeah, hustling supreme. Checks and bounces, stacking up the green. Cash flow heavy, yeah, American dreams. Skills is tipping, yeah, running up the scene. Power in my hand, yeah, hustling supreme. Yeah, shutters in the trap for the grim reaper creep. Blood on my lip, yeah, secret very deep. Cold still flash, yeah, hear them scream. Nightmare field, yeah, running up a scheme. No soda cell, got a debt unpaid. Graveyard shit. Take it through the grave, scales dipping red.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen.
Chains on my wrist like the devil's got a grip.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Rick.
Masking the stage.
All right.
Traps in the dungeon, then you know I got a hit. Voices in the hall, yeah, counting every loss. Scales on the tip, yeah, carrying the cross. Hollow out the game, lead them boys.
So lovely to see you all. Happy Tuesday.
Can't be bought, from before, you know I gotta check the cash.
Gotta check the cash.
You know I gotta have the cash. Blade in the palm, yeah, gotta cut it raw. World never seen, stay above the law. Make the White House black, count the money in the dark. Whipping this work, leave stains, no spark. Checks hit the trap, but the block stay grim. Scales tipping heavy, got justice again.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we're back in the Thunderdome.
It's about holding on to all this power, and as you can see, I got a lot of it.
True.
And I'm not sharing any of it. Cause guess what?
It's me.
It's me, Big Zeus.
Doing what I want to do.
Checks and bounces, stacking up the green. Cash flow heavy, yeah, American dreams. Skills is tipping, yeah, running up the scene. Power in my hand, yeah, hustling supreme. Checks and bounces, stacking up the green. Cash flow heavy, yeah, American dreams. Skills is tipping, yeah, running up the scene. Power in my hand, yeah, hustling supreme.
Yes, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's get this show started. We don't got much time. You know what we came to do. All right, yes, 1600. We got tools for that.
It's deja vu when I'm running these racks.
I'm like the Terminator screaming. I'll be back. Good morning, Ann. Great show this morning, Ann. I didn't see you up.
I'm on top of my game, head of class. You can tell that I made it. Look at my grass. Cars in the garage with tanks full of gas. I play the game so raw, I won't finish last. Sitting in my living room screaming how we made it. This is
you make beats? Alright, let's go ahead and give you a follow. We'll do that. Talk business.
We going viral cause my Zodiac.
Yeah.
I got all these numbers on my spreadsheet.
Woo!
Benjamin Franklin is my bestie. And if they is my ex, that mean they left me. They don't give me pause if they text me. I say it with my chest cause I mean it. Got a lot of
here it goes. Let's all do it together. These are the liars right here.
Call me the master with a new
Here he goes. Here he goes.
I'ma take off in the spaceship.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus's live in a couple of days. That shit was radical. It was horrible. I'm like, Zeus has gone way off the rails.
It's like deja vu. It's like deja vu.
That hurts every
It's like
time.
deja vu.
It really does.
It's like deja vu.
Oh my goodness. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Once again, we're back in the Thunder Zone. Happy Tuesday. All right, what is today's date? July, 22nd? We are once again gathered here to save this great country of ours from, guess what? You know, the evil clutches of Donald J. Trump. and his legion of MAGA possessed individual. MAGA demons is what we call them. And over here, we take care of business with the MAGA demon. We have the Lake of Fire always on standby in case folks need to be tossed in there, because what's going on right now in this great country of ours is there's a great evil demonic force that's holding this country back from honestly living up to all of its promises. You know, the promises that George Washington and our founding fathers helped try to engineer at the very beginning, right? And so we'll get into that in just a second, but I'll take care of some very important housekeeping items, all right? For those of you who don't know who I am, I go by the name Zeus, or some like to say Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H? That's a great question. The first H is, it's because I'm honest. I'm the most honest person on social media, all right? Hands down, all right? The second H is, well, it's because I'm the most humble. Listen, if I get it wrong, you know the deal. I'll be the first to apologize. And again, I'm not perfect. I've apologized several times. I don't think it's a sign of weakness. I actually think it's a sign of greatness. All right. And then the last and the most important H of them all, ladies and gentlemen, and you don't got to take my word for it. You can ask this character on TikTok named Nutty Professor, or even worse, as of late, there's another character, Dr. Lex. You can ask them. But it's true. It's because I am and will always remain, you've guessed it, the most handsome. I am. I woke up like this. Thank you. You all agree with me. I thought so. And make sure you let them know that. Thank you. Wow. I didn't know you all felt that way, but yeah, I am the most handsome. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ann. Yeah. Thank you. All right. Now, many of you know exactly what we do this morning, every morning. It's work that needs to get done, honestly, and I know you're all exhausted, but listen, this is only the first quarter. We're halfway through the first quarter, and like I've said, Donald Trump and his administration, they came out the gate just dropping bucket after bucket on us. And, you know, I'm a Democrat, there's independents out there, but we all believe in the same principles, right? And so for the first part of the quarter, we've been getting it handed to us, you know, whether it's the, you know, random crazy executive orders, right? Rick. Thank you, Rick. And I'll talk about what I need to talk about. Yeah, thank you. Or the big beautiful bill. I mean, it just seems like, and they talk about the Democrats' poll numbers like they just talk about us so much, and so this country, you know, it's starting to look real terrible for us. But you know what, we got tools for that. And so what I'll say is this: we save this country one show at a time by highlighting all of the lies, all of the misinformation, all the hypocrisy that is coming right out of the White House, that's basically engineered to destroy this great country of ours, all right? And so what I'll say is this. Are there any Trump supporters left? Anybody out there still openly supporting Donald Trump, all right? I check the temperature every morning because I gotta, you know, get my measure. I got to measure in terms of how intense I need to be. Anybody out there still supporting this demon with the Epstein curse? All right. Okay. Well, you know what they're not going to do? They're not going to admit it anymore because I've totally annihilated them every show. Here's the thing, though, right? If you're still a Trump supporter, you might want to leave this live and go on and hang out with those fake TikTok hosts. Good morning, Dark Swerve, because they'll lie to you, right? I won't lie. No, I have no reason to. I'll admit it. We didn't win the 2024 election. I do have concerns about, you know, the results because of the information that I've been privy to, right? But I'll go ahead and give you that. I won't lie to you about that. You want to know why the Democrats are polling low? Oh, I won't lie about that because I also understand a lot of these folks out here, there's something going on up here. There's like I said, a strong demonic force I call it a curse, honestly, that's got a lot of people supporting evil. Yeah, a lot of people in this country support evil. I get it now. I understand it fully. All right. So what I'll say is this: if you do not want me to hurt your feelings this morning, you know, or ruin your appetite, because what I'll do is ruin your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner, you might want to leave this live. All right, because it's going to get very uncomfortable for you. I'm in specific. I'm talking about MAGA. I'm talking about BLAGA. I'm talking about all people who support Donald Trump proudly or secretly. You might want to leave right now because, like I said, it's going to get very, very uncomfortable in here. I promise you it will. But get this. You don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, the doors to the Thunderdome, they've officially closed. I take no responsibility, honestly. I've been doing this for over 3 years, maybe even 4. I've lost count. I take no responsibility at this point for how people say things or how it lands at times, because we're at an interesting crossroad right now. And I've had to do some thinking on my own, some real independent thinking, some soul searching to a certain extent. And I looked at all the videos I've been posting for the past week or so, and I said, all these videos are about one thing. All these videos that I'm posting are about one thing.
Sure.
Could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Yeah. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Desecration. It is a desecration. It's a desecration to the United States of America that we have a person running this country. And I'm going to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be honest with you. For the first 6 months, I was saying he's deranged, right? We were all saying he's deranged, he's heartless, this and that about him. And they were putting up big numbers. I mean, big numbers against the Democrats. And then right after the big, beautiful bill passed, all of a sudden, things started to get real serious in this country. I mean, real serious. And it's because of this whole these e-files. Yeah, the e-files, MAGA thought they were really going to cruise across the finish line. But once the e-files became the subject, it's starting to not look so good for MAGA. And every day since then, no matter what their dear leader do, Jarvis, you had the office for the past 4 years, Jarvis. And I thought about that too, Jarvis, and I'm actually glad you brought that up. I'm starting to think that, and I'll say this, my friends, they might get mad at me because I'll say this. I'm starting to think maybe Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, because they always know what a threat is to their presidency. They get presidential briefings, and unlike Donald Trump, they actually read them. I'm starting to think that it may have came across Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris's desk that, these e-files, they've just been unsealed, and there's going to be a lot of information that's going to be coming out. And it actually started way back before Trump got into office, from what I'm hearing. Mike Pence said it started in 2008. So they knew what was brewing. And they know all the people that are going to be linked into this. And they knew that when this so-called bomb drops, they said, you know what? I don't think we need to be in the White House when this thing drops. Because look at this. We already see with the indictments, 4 different indictments, his supporters, they don't believe him. They don't believe none of this is true. They don't think this guy is really a bad. So why don't we just get on out of the way? I'm using my conspiracy theory mind, right? But they said, why don't we just get on out of the way and let this become his problem, all right? So W, Joe Biden, all right? And so now this is Donald Trump's problem, all right? This is his mess. And his supporters, they really, really did believe Donald Trump was going to get in here and really push his agenda and force America to surrender to the will of MAGA, right? And it started out great, but like Donald Trump said, are we still talking about this? Yesterday I left TikTok, and what did Caroline Levitt say? Let's go see what Caroline Levitt said, all right? And you just hear stuff like this, ladies and gentlemen, and you can't help but wonder. It's almost as if nobody in the White House is giving these people a heads up on how serious this is. Give me a quick second. There we go.
Ordered the FBI to release the full Epstein files and just get it all out there.
The president has said if the Department of Justice and the FBI want to move forward with releasing any further credible evidence, they should do so. As to why they have or have not or will, you should ask the FBI about that. Go ahead.
Huh. Every day we get a new update from somewhere in the Trump administration about this case. This morning we wake up and what did the Attorney General Pam Bondi post? I'm going to read it because I got to be accountable. And a lot of people say that I lie on my show. Where am I lying at? Anybody thinks I'm lying, send me a guest request, please. This is what Pam Bondi wrote this morning, 4:37 a.m. Why do you do it so early, Pam? Because she doesn't think anybody's going to look. I don't know. But she goes, the Department of Justice does not shy away from uncomfortable truths, nor from the responsibility to pursue justice wherever the facts may lead. The joint statement by the DOJ and the FBI on July 6th remains accurate as of today, as it was when it was written. Namely, that in recent thorough review of the files maintained by the FBI, the Epstein case, no evidence was uncovered that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. President Trump has told us to release all credible evidence. If Ghislaine Maxwell has information about anyone who has committed crimes against victims, the FBI and the DOJ will hear what she has to say. Therefore, at the direction of Attorney General Pam Bondi, I have communicated with counsel for Mrs. Maxwell to determine whether she would be willing to speak with prosecutors from the department. I anticipate meeting with Mrs. Maxwell in the coming days. Until now, no administration on behalf of the department had inquired about her willingness to meet with the government. That changes now. So the question is, why are they all of a sudden wanting to meet with Ghislaine Maxwell? Well, let's see what Donald Trump said about it.
Is in prison. Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison, and so a lot of people want to know if she's going to turn in powerful people. And I know you've talked in the past about Prince Andrew, and you've criticized Bill Clinton's behavior. I'm wondering, do you feel that she's going to turn in powerful men? How do you see that working out?
I don't know. I haven't really been following it too much. I just wish her well, frankly. I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well.
That's Donald Trump back in the day, wishing this woman well, MAGA. You know what I think is very, very interesting about this story. Everywhere the camera pans, left, right, up, down, back, side, up, guess who's always involved? This guy. It's like he is everywhere. This, it will be very, very hard, in my humble opinion, for all of the evidence to actually be released and he's nowhere. It would be impossible. It would. MAGA Demon, I know you're getting triggered this morning because I'm telling you some real truth. And it's not just the circumstantial evidence. Now they're going back and they're actually listening to what Donald Trump said in random interviews. I mean, take, for instance, something like this. Let's see if we can get this on the record, because I'm going to do some Lake of Fire judgment, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you hear stuff like this and you go, wait a second. Did he really say that?
I actually went to the Fashion Awards show.
Here goes.
What did you do last night for fun?
I actually went to the Fashion Awards show.
Listen to him.
Just to pick up more models.
And
Working on his portfolio.
Yeah.
But Donald, do you worry because you have a daughter who's a model?
I do, and I had to deal with her. She's just 17, and she's doing great, Ivanka, and she made me promise or swear to her that I would never date a girl younger than her. So as she grows older,
right,
the field is getting very limited severely.
Is he saying this and is he taking something? Is he drinking something before he says these things? Or is this just how he is? MAGA, is your dear leader like this? Absent of any substances or anything? He just wakes up like this, where his own daughter has to tell him where the boundaries are? And for her to have to say that to him, it really speaks volumes. Yeah, it is sick. It speaks volumes. And what bothers me the most about all of this is I talk to MAGA women out there. And these MAGA women, you guys have nothing. Come on, pathetic. Hold on. Look at this. EM, come on up here. Come on up here, EM. I don't even know who you are, but you found me. I have nothing. We have truth. We have morals. We have principles. That's stuff that we have class. That's stuff money can't buy. EM, what do you got? Besides blind loyalty to a devil, a demon. EM, I know you don't want to come up here, and I get it. You're triggered because I'm delivering total truth bombs to you, and it's just rocking your world this morning. So EM, here's what I'll do. I didn't need to do it, but I'll do it. I'm going to go ahead and warm up the lake of fire for you, EM. All right, because obviously something's wrong with you upstairs, right? Sick, demented, twisted, evil, vile. All adjectives that describe EM. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending the first MAGA demon today where they came from. Right back straight to the pits of hell.
Went to the Fashion Awards show.
Listen to him.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
There you go. Okay, EM, don't do that again. I'm in the middle of actually trying to do something that's going to ultimately benefit you, because someone has to save this country, EM, and obviously it's not you. And then you need to also do me another favor. You need to go ahead and work on your physique and stop eating all of that nasty junk food and drink you some hibiscus tea. W Zeus. So I gave you an interview. This is another statement that was written, okay, from someone, Patty Owen, a Cosmopolitan cover star. I'm going to read it. She recalls seeing Trump at elite parties far back in 1982. He would always be at the bar. That's where he would stay, and that's where all the new models would hang out, she says. Whenever I saw him, I was always like, why does John have to invite him? Barbara Pillings, also an elite model, told us Trump asked her out for dinner in the summer of 1989 at an industry soiree. She recalls Trump asking how old she was. I said 17, and he said, quote, "That's just great. You're not too old and you're not too young." This is a sick guy. This is a sickness. Like I said, you look at those ankles and you look at that hand. It's either the mark of the beast or it's the Epstein curse. And what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, when all of his followers, all of his cult members, the truth comes out about their dear leader and they realize they've been duped not just for 6 months. No, these folks have been duped for decades. I had one MAGA demon. You hear him, the brother that got into my box yesterday. I think his name was Glenn. I've been following Donald Trump for 40 long years. What's going to happen to these people, ladies and gentlemen, when the fog subsides and they realize that they've been led by the worst of the worst when it comes to human beings? You got to sit back and process that. You didn't got in an argument with your wife. You didn't got in an argument with your mom, your sister, your brother, your daddy, your aunties, your uncles about this man. You didn't cancel Christmas, birthday parties, everything for this man. And now you're in a dark place all by yourself, trying to make it all make sense. Betrayed at the highest level, betrayed at the highest order. Oh yeah, I hear it. They don't care. And this is what makes it so beautiful, because when here's the thing, you don't care now, but when the truth starts slapping you all upside your head, you're going to care. W Zeus. How many people think I'm lying out here? Anybody out there? Does anyone think I'm lying? I'm just trying to double check, because I see folks out here, they all off topic. They're trying to do what Trump is doing. They're trying to bring up President Obama, right? They want to talk about Obama now. Throw Obama in jail. You want to talk about Hunter Biden? Go ahead. Put Hunter Biden in jail. I have no problem. Put Joe Biden, put Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, all of them. Put them all in prison. I'm not going to argue with you about it. If you got dirt on them, go ahead and do it. But what you can't do, which shows the difference between you, because like, look, for instance, when I do this shows you what? That I'm not a hand puppet. I'm a free thinker. Y'all can't say, put this guy in prison. You can't do it, because you know what the impact of that will be. All right. And so what I'm going to continue to do, ladies and gentlemen, is drive the point home to MAGA that this train ride that you all have voluntarily gotten yourselves on, and you're not going to stop because you think you're heading towards some sort of magical Neverland paradise with your dear leader. I want you to know this. I promise you. It's going to end, and it's going to be a nasty ending for all of you. Yeah, I'm telling the truth. All right. Yeah. It's going to be a nasty ending for each and every single one of you MAGA possessed demons, because every day from here on out, you're going to hear stories just like this. Listen to an accuser, Maria Farmer, on her relationship with Donald Trump in terms of Jeffrey Epstein. Listen to this. I mean, it's all over the world now. And imagine the world Donald Trump is in right now.
How close were they, as far as you were able to tell?
Well, like Epstein said, he inherited him in the divorce. You know, he said basically, you're going to see us together all the time. We're fixtures, because in the divorce, I inherited Trump and Ghislaine inherited Ivana. So he said, you're not going to see him at the house the way you see Ivana, and you're not going to see her at the offices the way you see Trump. And, you know, it was just, it was a known thing, like among the staff and everyone, that they were best friends. And Epstein bragged about it. And I gave up 30 years to report this. And it's a very serious thing to fight the government. You know, it's been unbelievable. I've been fighting 2 cancers because of it.
Maria, when we reached out to the White House for a comment, they responded, and I'll just read for you what they said.
Okay.
Quote, the president was never in Epstein's office, and in fact, the president kicked him out of his club for being a creep. They then say that Trump, that they're clear there. They say he was never in Epstein's office, which, of course, from the original incident that you're talking about is where this occurred, according to your recollection, at the Helmsley building in New York.
He was absolutely in the offices.
So what do you say when they give a response like this?
Yes. I say that they're being disrespectful to the fact that I have given up my entire life for this case just to have it investigated. And I'm really sorry for him that he's caught, but, you know, I don't know what to say to that. He's lying. I don't appreciate it. He was absolutely at the offices, and it was 9 o'clock at night. I thought it was inappropriate. But also, they were best friends at the time. So what I say to that is, I don't think he's really responding to the fact, and what does he mean the offices? He needs to be specific, because he was in the Helmsley Palace offices.
Boom. All right. You hear this, MAGA? Story after story about his dark past and his ties to Jeffrey, the worst person that I've ever read about or known of, the worst person a politician could be affiliated with. Your dear leader seems to just have his hands all over this. Has anyone heard from Donald Trump? Has he been doing any press conferences as of late? Has anyone noticed that he's not really into doing press conferences? Have y'all noticed that? MAGA, where is he at? Where is the mandate? I shouldn't even laugh. Where is the mandate? He quiet as a church mouse. And you know what that means? Guilty. That's what you do. Because you gotta imagine this. You gotta imagine this world that he's in right now. No matter where he goes, this situation is going to continue to come up. Donald has the Democrats going crazy since the election. George, or is it Jorge? I don't know which one it is, but do me a favor and just sit your special behind down and continue to listen to what I'm saying, all right? Because I understand right now that's not really you talking. You know, it's the demon inside of you talking to you to get a reaction out of me, all right? But you got a lot of work to do, Jorge. You do. Because nothing you do on the internet is going to stop this storm from coming. I was saying before Jorge interrupted me, I'm going to call him Jorge, all right? Because that's what he is to me, all right? This is what's going on right now. He's in a cold, dark spot. And the only way out, honestly, is if he comes clean. And he has to be honest with the American people. He has to. He has to come out and admit what happened. And the only thing I could see Donald Trump doing is this. In the spirit, he would have to say something along these lines. In the spirit of being transparent with the American people, I am letting the DOJ independently conduct a thorough investigation into this case. And I am requesting that they release as much information as they can. All information, make sure you're protecting the victims and things like that. That's it. That's all he could say. And he has to say, I'm done with it. If they need to appoint a special counsel, let it be. And you know what he won't do? He won't do that. He won't do that. Oh, somebody wrote Trump is president. Obama is going to jail. America's great again. All right. Send me a guest request. And what I'll do is I'll let you come up here and just bring the evidence, not the mouth, not your mouth, because your mouth is filthy. MAGA, your mouth is filthy. You only got one tooth. I've seen you. You haven't been educated. You know, they get offended when I ask them, where'd you graduate from? They get really offended. All right. So just send me a guest request. And let me finish up by saying this. And I think what I'll do is I'll let my good friend Lawrence O'Donnell explain to everybody where Donald Trump is at mentally, all right? And then we'll go into some judgment, all right? So Lawrence O'Donnell, please, brother, go ahead and carry these folks across the line.
This is not exactly Donald Trump's thing.
Yes.
And so Donald Trump has more than one way of expressing how, say, terrified he is. He might fly into obsessive, relentless social media postings about the thing he's terrified about.
Listen, MAGA.
Sometimes he'll do it about the thing he's terrified about, and sometimes not. Sometimes about, like, anything else, which is kind of what he's been doing.
Yeah.
And the other way Donald Trump communicates his fear is silence, which is also what he's been doing. Silence. That's how Donald Trump treats the things he's most afraid of, in my observation. And so, judging by his silence, Donald Trump is living in abject terror tonight of the Epstein files.
Ooh. MAGA, you understand what's going on? Your dear leader is terrified right now because we're not letting up. Y'all thought y'all was going to crush us in the first quarter, and I thought you were. I honestly thought y'all were going to crush us in the first quarter. But you're not. You're not. You're not. Your dear leader is shaking in his boots. No wonder those ankles are swollen. I see some folks out in the audience right now, Trump supporters, they're getting triggered. If you don't want to experience what's about to happen next,
if you're not happy here,
you know,
then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned,
yeah.
If you hate our country,
you might want to leave this live.
If you're not happy here, you can leave.
Because I ain't letting up. I'm not letting up. And Lawrence ain't letting up.
Trump spent the day in silence today about the Epstein files. The man who loves to have the cameras aimed at him while he plays with questions from reporters without ever actually answering them, didn't dare allow reporters to get anywhere near him today at the White House. Donald Trump said nothing on social media today about the Epstein files. Nothing about the person who for 15 years Donald Trump called a terrific guy, while the person Donald Trump thought was a terrific guy was raping children.
Woo!
The last time Donald Trump said anything about his now dead friend Jeffrey Epstein was on Saturday at 9:13 a.m. when he said nothing will be good enough.
Guess which?
Wow, MAGA. So he hasn't. Your dear leader hasn't said anything about this guy, his friend, since Saturday. This is so unlike him.
I have asked the Justice Department to release all grand jury testimony with respect to Jeffrey Epstein, subject only to court approval. With that being said, and even if the court gave its full and unwavering approval, nothing will be good enough for the troublemakers and radical left lunatics making the request. It will always be more and more and more. One of those radical left lunatics, I guess, is Marjorie Taylor Greene, according to Donald Trump's description. She's always been called a radical lunatic, but she is a Republican member of Congress who's always supported Donald Trump and built her short political career on supporting Donald Trump. Today, Marjorie Taylor Greene tweeted, "If you tell the base of people who support you of deep state treasonous crimes, election interference, blackmail, and rich, powerful, elite evil cabals, then you must take down every enemy of the people. If not, the base will turn and there's no going back. Dangling bits of red meat no longer satisfies. They want the whole steak dinner and will accept nothing else." Marjorie Taylor Greene is making it very clear what would be good enough for her She wants the entirety of the Epstein files released, not just the grand jury transcripts, which would be the least informative part of the Trump Justice Department's criminal investigative file on Jeffrey Epstein.
Ooh.
While some Trump supporters who were complaining about Donald Trump's refusal to release the Epstein files last week are now going quiet.
Like you, MAGA demon. Instead of coming onto my live and trying to beat up Big Zeus, why don't you use that same energy to go after the people that are really destroying this country, harming children, MAGA demon? You see, I exposed them. This is why I encourage all of us out here who are doing all of this great work to save this great country of ours from this legion of MAGA demons. Please continue to tell the truth, because these people will reveal themselves and they will tell on themselves every single time. They do not care about what's right. They only care about what's wrong. And if it's wrong, they want more of it. The moment you start shining light on their demonic and evil wickedness, wicked ways, they start to say things and start saying a bunch of lies. Things like, Obama committed conspiracy, treasonous conspiracy. Well, where is Obama at right now? Is Obama arrested? No. Is Joe Biden arrested? No. Is Hunter Biden arrested? No. So you've been gaslit once again, huh? Yeah. How does it feel? It's the best feeling ever. Why? Because it makes me feel like I'm close to my dear leader in his dirty diaper. Y'all are some sick folks out there. Real sick. Real sick.
Marjorie Taylor Greene hasn't given up yet. She said this tonight at 7:06 p.m.
I believe in transparency, and I believe the American people, this is a serious issue. I can tell you for the past, more than a week, the highest volume of calls into my office have been about Epstein. People want the information.
Yeah.
They don't want things covered up, especially when it comes to the most well-known convicted pedophile in modern day history. It's important to them, and they really want the information out.
But Donald Trump says Marjorie Taylor Greene is a radical left lunatic, and everyone she claims is calling her Georgia office, all of them, radical left lunatics. And that nothing will be good enough for those Republican radical left lunatics. Donald Trump's silence about Jeffrey Epstein now extends, as it always does, to his complete silence about Jeffrey Epstein's victims. One of them was a high school girl who felt very lucky when she got a job working for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
At Mar-a-Lago.
And what we'll do is we'll stop it there, because obviously, Lawrence O'Donnell, he's totally obliterated Donald Trump and his base once again. W. Lawrence O'Donnell. W. So what we'll do now, ladies and gentlemen, and this is with great pleasure, I'm going to warm up this lake of fire bright and early today on a Tuesday, July 22nd. And what I'm doing is I'm sending a very, very clear message to all of you Trump supporters out there. Those of you who are still in the cult, I want you to understand that hell will truly be your portion. And, this is going to be, normally I feel bad about sending people to hell. I really do. But in this particular instance, because of the charges and the gravity, this is actually one of the most enjoyable moments in my life, is to send all of you evil, wicked, Trump-supporting, so-called Christians straight to hell. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending these MAGA demons to the bottom of the bottom, the bottom of the bottom of the bottom of the pits of hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
W. Zeus. And so with that now, ladies and gentlemen, look at this. We can go to the audience now. This is my backup account. The other account, they get mad at me because I'm so honest out here. Maybe it's because of my humbleness. I don't know. Or maybe it's because of the handsomeness, right? Let's go ahead and check the polls, ladies and gentlemen. Are there any brave Trump voters out there? Oh, my bad. I do got to address something. This came up. Somebody alerted me of this. You know how we've talked to Blaga ad nauseum about ICE and the mass deportations, right? And they all come, I talked to them. You know who they are, these characters, Dame and Glenn and all of these other ones, right? They get out here and they say, oh, you need to just send these people back, deport them. I don't care. And they think that it's over once Donald Trump does something evil and wicked to them. But I keep trying to encourage these people to understand, you do something to one person, no matter where you're at on earth. If you do it to one person, the ways the universal laws work is you open the door for it to be done unto you, right? And so while they're cheering on, not all, but some, while they're out here cheering on Donald Trump using his ICE agents, they call it the modern day Gestapo, right? Going around here terrorizing Americans or people they think are Americans, right? There are real life consequences that are happening now, ladies and gentlemen. And so let's get into this. And I'm going to share a story real quick. And now to the victim of this, I don't know if they're a Trump supporter or not. All right. I don't know if but some of you may have seen this. This is a video called Blame Trump for This. And what I'll do is I will hit play, but you can go find it on X. All right. Black American partying in Mexico snatched up by police and beat up due to Donald Trump's deportation of all illegal immigrants. Listen to him tell you what happened. And this is real spill.
For this treatment. That's what they told me. I've been in Cabo San Lucas for the past 48 hours for a celebration for graduating from medical school. Me and my brothers were.
I don't know if you can hear it, but he's saying he was in Cabo San Lucas, celebrating and partying, him and his brothers. Yeah.
Held captive for 16 hours. Our jewelry stolen.
His jewelry was stolen. They were kidnapped, placed in the back of a pickup truck. This is what happened to this brother out in Mexico, right? No more necklace.
Cash
stolen out of his pockets.
And the result
is this black eye.
My eye is swollen shut. I'm pretty sure it's fractured.
He's pretty sure it's fractured.
This eye can barely see out of.
The other eye he can barely see out of.
But I think I'm safe now.
But he's safe now in the airport.
Fly back to LA.
Gonna fly back to LA for immediate care.
Please, everybody, pray for me.
Please pray for him.
And this is your warning to
and this is a warning to not go to Cabo San Lucas. Stay clear, far away. Blame Trump.
Is what they said.
Is what they said. Stupid N-word.
Stupid nigga.
Blame Trump. While they took him.
That's what they told.
So let me get back to what I was doing, ladies and gentlemen. I want everybody to understand. If you sow seeds of evil and wickedness, the fruit that grows is going to be evil and wicked. This is one of the other reasons why I wake up every morning and religiously go against the grain and tell everybody that's out there that's able to be a free thinker, you got to stop going down that dark and dangerous path that you're on. Because honestly, if you go down that path, now you're implicating me because I'm an American. Now you didn't drug Big Zeus in it, right? So now look at this. It seems like this might just be the start of several things to come. Nowhere in the country could you possibly, now you got to go, no matter where you go in the world, you got to worry about, are people in that country who've been wronged by our government going to try to take out their anger and frustrations on me? This is why we say to all of you so-called folks out there, you so-called Christians, wake up. And you know what I'm going to do? Let me go ahead and warm up the lake of fire one more time. Yeah, DJ, I got to tell it to you. Because y'all not holding Donald Trump accountable and you're letting this man go around here do wicked and evil things in the name of so-called America first, now you're seeing us actually really get America first. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and send these Trump supporters once again straight to hell. Silence, you MAGA demon. Yeah. And so this is why we got to get out here and call things out when they're wrong. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Stop sending innocent people to dangerous places in the country because your mind has convinced you that somehow they don't belong here. Shame on you. All right, W Zeus. Yeah. All right. Now I can go to the box. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. And you want to get up here and at least try to defend the indefensible because, yes, good morning, Kabira. Because, yes, karma is coming. Yeah, they know it. They know it. All right. Let's see who we got, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, no, not you. No. Okay. So, let's see. The real talk is, let's see. Let's see. That guy. No, I don't know. I don't know if that guy was MAGA or not, to be honest with you. But what I'll say is this. Yeah, no, not Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom, because see, Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom, he's struggling right now, all right? And why he's struggling, it's because he sees what's happening. He sees that his dear leader, you're done with him, W, Tara. I guess I've annihilated all the Trump supporters this morning. So what we'll do is we'll continue because we always got good content to go through. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Another thing, okay, and this is just a sign of things to come. Have you heard about the weekly updates in terms of the C-19 or whatever? It seems like there's new cases of this thing creeping up again, and I'm pretty sure the CDC isn't going to warn you. What is this? 62,000 new cases of this C-19 virus. Well, they don't call it that anymore, but we got to use TikTok friendly language, right? Let's see. We have 4,347 admissions in the hospital. We got 3,000 people being committed to the hospital. 475 people in ICU. 205 new unalivings. So on average, around 217 people have been infected recently. And so what this shows us is this, ladies and gentlemen. I see the left is trying to stop federal agents from doing their job. DJ, I have no clue what you're talking about. What I see, DJ, is this. I see that these cases of C-19 are once again escalating, and your president isn't doing anything to protect everyday Americans. That's what I see. I see, if you want to talk about the ICE agents, DJ, yeah, there are upticks of C-19. If you want to talk about the ICE agents, DJ, all I can say is this. They're not actually delivering on the amount of people they claim that they're supposed to be deporting. And they're under quota. And so now you see them going after innocent women, innocent children, DJ. And this goes back to what I just said. I just played a video. And you heard the man. You heard the man saying, don't go here, don't go there. He's saying that, DJ, because there are real life consequences to the evil and the wickedness that's going on right now as a result of the current Trump administration. I really wish folks like you, DJ, honestly, you would spend more time focusing on getting corruption and bad people out of government. All right. So let me move it along, ladies and gentlemen. We got more. Let me see. Where was I at? Okay. I want to also cover this. Somebody in there, they said, we need to arrest President Obama. How many people out there think we should arrest President Obama still? You're working on that. Okay. So let's listen to what Speaker Mike Johnson said concerning bringing former President Barack Obama in for a congressional deposition, ladies and gentlemen. And this is how you know Donald Trump and the Republican Party, they're so desperate. They're so desperate. Hold on.
DNI chief, declassifying hundreds of documents that seem to suggest that manufactured intelligence was at play here with the Obama administration regarding this Russian collusion hoax. I've heard Stephen Miller call it a seditious conspiracy. I've heard Tulsi Gabbard call it a treasonous conspiracy. You're a constitutional guy. What do you see in this exactly? How do you term it?
I don't know how to summarize it by way of description in a snappy phrase, but I will tell you it is deeply problematic. And before I became Speaker of the House, I served on the House Judiciary Committee, which had jurisdiction over a lot of this. And we knew what was happening. We knew intuitively, and we were gathering the evidence as we were investigating all of this ourselves. We knew the Russia collusion thing was a hoax. They used it as a basis to attack the president mercilessly. I served on the.
And we've already covered this, the Russia collusion thing. It wasn't a hoax. Imagine this, ladies and gentlemen. Everything that Donald Trump has done and has in some way, shape, or form been held accountable for, he always calls it a hoax. And his supporters, they swallow it hook, line, and sinker. But all this is, as far as I'm concerned, is another distraction. And it's like I said, DJ, when is Obama getting arrested? Can somebody give me the exact date when Obama will be indicted and arrested? And here's the beautiful thing. Here's the beautiful thing, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the beautiful thing. If any of these Democrats actually get arrested, the discovery process is going to do a number on MAGA. Because I promise you, just like these e-files where Trump is everywhere, if Obama really had to come out and explain what he knew about Donald Trump and what the whole Russia thing was about, MAGA, you would be in more trouble than you currently are. I promise you. All right. So another W for the Democrats. Look at that. We have. All right. We have a guest. Hugo, welcome to the show. Good morning. How's it going?
Mom, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Triple H.
Good morning.
I'm in with everything that's going on. I just wanted to come up to say one thing. If I said it before and I'll say it again, if that file could in any way, shape, or form exonerate that man, well, excuse. I don't even want to call him that.
The creature. I call him a creature.
Yeah, the creature. If that file could exonerate him in any way, shape, or form, you know, just like I know and everybody here knows, that he'd be selling these sycophants leather-bound copies of it, and he'd be printing it on T-shirts for them. Okay, I promise you that, and I know that with my whole my whole being.
I 1,000% agree with you. And so does it seem to you, honestly, like he's behaving like someone that's guilty or someone that's innocent? Oh, we got that camera, W. Turn it on the camera. Good morning.
Guilty. No question about it.
Wow. So obviously you're noticing a trend with his supporters, his base. What is your assessment of the MAGA base right now?
Pretzels. They can't. It's mentally astounding gymnastics. Always. MAGA. They can't. They're coping. They can't cope. You know, as he called them, stupid weaklings, I think was the word. Any of his supporters that are still talking about that are stupid weaklings. So I don't know.
He did call them that, and they're still hanging on to hope, like you said. What about do you think there's others who might be quietly defecting and trying to get out or what? Because this is a lot. Imagine you supported this guy. Imagine not you, but there are people out here who have supported this man for decades. Could you elaborate on what you think the process may be like for them to actually have to turn around and?
I can't even imagine. Because I can't, because listen, his supporters, they're not supporting him. They're supporting an idea that their bigotry is okay. So whoever they have to support that's going to perpetuate that idea, they're gonna push that support behind that. We already talked about the Heritage Foundation and Yarvin and Peter Thiel and all of that. So we already know that that's the resurgence of the Klan. So they're going to push through whatever racist legislation they can while they have the power. So we're just going to have to do whatever we can to push back against it.
I mean, and I'm glad that you said that. And I think this is why, having shows like this, having discussions like this, it's very, very critical. It's to me, arduous, long, hard work. But what we're doing is we're showing these folks that they've made a very, very bad decision, and that they really need to stop supporting evil and wickedness like they're doing. I hear a lot of them saying, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. How, MAGA? How? And again, what I'm noticing is this: they don't want to come up. They don't want to talk to me. They don't want to talk to you. they're sitting here in silence and they're going, how on earth did we get to this place of just total embarrassment, total shame?
They can't say they weren't warned, because we told them, repeatedly, they told us we were crazy, we were fear mongering, we were this, we were that. And, here it is, here it is, on its face, pure corruption, and they're just refusing to look at it. They want to talk about Obama. They want to talk about MLK. They want to talk about this. They want to talk about the Washington football to the commander. They want to talk about it. They want to talk about anything else. Vile.
And we're not taking the bait. We're not taking the bait. But the bait. Here's the bait I wanted to ask you about. So Pam Bondi this morning, you heard about what she says she's going to do. What do you think about that? They want to meet with Ghislaine Maxwell now, and go over what she might know. What do you think about that? Will that exonerate Donald Trump, in your opinion?
Well, they'll make it seem that way. I'm sure they'll offer her some type of, sweetheart deal, so that way she'll, implicate anybody they want her to implicate. I mean, that just seems like, she's been saying that she wants to, testify for the longest time. So, we know they can't say there's no list. We know Dershowitz, Dershowitz said with his own mouth, he saw the list with his own eyes, he was blocked by the judges in her case from, disclosing any information about it.
Yeah.
Then he went and the demon, the creature went and fired the lead prosecutor on her case. Why would you do such a thing? You know who has the information that's listen, the level of corruption is unlike anything I've ever witnessed in my years, in my 20-something years.
I agree with you. And now that this is out here, one of the things that I'm really concerned about is honestly her safety. I'm actually concerned about her safety.
I've said it too.
You think so?
Yeah, I've put the hashtag up. Ghislaine didn't, unalive herself.
Yeah, you already put it up there.
Yeah, I've been put that that hashtag up.
Yeah,
actually, I started using that hashtag when she first was arrested. When he was, after he didn't, unalive himself the way they said.
Yeah. And so what we'll do is this. We're going to have to keep up this conversation, as difficult as it is, because I'll be honest with you. The more you get into this conversation, everything seems like this is really dark stuff, right? This is really dark stuff, and it takes somebody that's mentally strong enough to handle this. But this is kind of what needs to happen, as far as I'm concerned, in order to save this great country of ours from MAGA, right?
Absolutely. They like to say, oh, well, why don't you leave? If you don't like it, leave. Well, listen, when the alternator on the car goes, you don't throw away the whole car. You fix it. When you love your country, you don't sell it out to the highest bidder, and you don't leave and you don't run. You protect it. You fight for it.
Go for it. And that's why we do this work that we do every day, day in and day out. It's thankless work, but we got to do it. I guess one more thing before we leave. What would you say? Any words of warning to the MAGA demons out there, all right? Because they're confused. Anything, any advice or recommendations for these folks?
Get up on Zeus's panel and deconstruct and exercise that MAGA demon, because that's the only way we can get out of this is if they start to deconstruct and realize what their, devotion, their, cult-like religious devotion to this man is all about.
Amen.
They're not, they don't realize he's not going to see all their posts. He's not going to let them slide that diaper aside. He's not going to let them all right. So, pardon my,
That is funny, because that's what they think he's going to do.
I don't know, but, that's all I can really say about it.
All right.
Love the show. Love the kingdom. Love everybody. Peace to moms.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you give Hugo a huge round of applause. And Kabira, You might want to keep that spirit in check. All right, I saw what you said. They're out there saying he's handsome and stuff like that. Y'all might want to relax on that too much. All right, but thank you, brother. Fair enough. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen. That is
get up here, MAGA.
Yeah, they don't want to come up here. All right. W Hugo. Oh, look at this. Q Dog, welcome back. Where you been, brother? Good morning, Q Dog. Is he there, Q Dog? Are you there? I can't hear you. Can anyone hear Q Dog? I can't hear him. I can't hear you, Q Dog. All right, we'll move on. Send another request. All right, we'll bring up Brother Nutty. Good morning, Nutty. Can you hear me?
I can. How are you?
All right. Good morning. How are you?
Going well. So, you guys keep bringing it up, and I was going to say something on it this morning as well. So, we're going to start hashtagging. I want to see proof of life every single day. I want proof of life for Ghislaine Maxwell. The fact that she's meeting with the DOJ, it unsettles me because this DOJ is as corrupt as the word corrupt.
Yeah.
I would prefer that she met with Congress out in the open in a congressional hearing, in a Senate hearing, because we need to see proof of life every single day. I want the date on front of her every single day. I want to see proof of life. Because here's the thing. We are deflecting. We're being distracted. Now the heat is really starting to heat up over these files. But MAGA, this is what you voted for.
Yeah.
This is what he ran on. Kamala Harris did not run on releasing the files. Now, I don't believe she would have had any adverse reaction to releasing the files.
Yeah.
But that's not what she ran on. This specifically is what he ran on. So now that the roosters have come home to what? Roost? What's the problem? Why is it that we're deflecting? We want to release the MLK files. we want to release the JFK files.
Ain't that something?
But we can't somehow find the E-files. I'm so confused because Zeus, just recently there was a gentleman that was arrested and being prosecuted by the DOJ.
Yeah.
For threatening the lives of people who are on the E-files.
I saw that.
But there are no E-files.
I saw that.
So how can he be prosecuted for threatening people on the files if there are no files? How is it that Maxwell is in prison based on these files when there are no files? See, I think Maxwell is a scum. She was convicted.
Yeah.
I think she's a scum. However, I think she and her attorneys are brilliant. Because if there are no files, then why is my client sitting in jail on a 20-year sentence?
Yeah. And you got Donald Trump lashing out at the Wall Street Journal because of the information they published, and I'm hearing Maxwell could be connected to that information, right? I mean, this is what I'm hearing.
I do want to, can I just pivot just for 1 second here?
Go for it.
Did you, were you aware that, that your vice president met with the Murdochs over at their Montana home?
Are you talking about Vance?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't.
So yes. And I tell everybody in the kingdom, what we always say, Zeus, don't believe us, fact check us.
Yeah.
So recently, J.D. Vance, and I forget, there was a couple other people. I forgot who all. I just cared about J.D. because he was the one that was elected. So recently, J.D. Vance went to Montana to meet the Murdochs at their Montana ranch.
Hmm.
Can you tell me why?
Let me see. Oh,
Can you tell me
right
why?
before the Wall Street Journal was posted?
It was right before. And then the Wall Street Journal report came out. Because Zeus, I have a really bad memory. But can you help me with something, sir? Like several years ago, wasn't it Senator J.D. Vance, newly elected Senator J.D. Vance, that said, "I'm a never Trump guy. I never liked him."
Yeah. Called him a fascist.
Huh. That's interesting that a never Trump guy is now a Trump guy that is now the vice president, that when the E-Files was being spoken about and Mr. Trump said, release the grand jury report, blah, 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 blah. What did JD say?
He asked for the letter.
Listen. I'm not the smartest.
You're actually doing a great job because I'm looking at this. He traveled to Montana to meet Rupert Murdoch, the founder of News Corp. Hours later, the Wall Street Journal released a story about President Donald Trump's alleged connection to Jeffrey E.
I mean, I'm not the smartest tool, the sharpest tool in the shed, Zeus. But it seems to me that this never Trump guy is now showing how much of a never Trump guy he really is. And he's throwing him under the bus because he wants to be that guy. He wants to be the 48th president of the United States of America. And by what? By any means necessary, they're going to take out this cancer called Donald Trump, because the Heritage Foundation, they have a plan. They are working their plan. But MAGA, you are too freaking stupid to see the plan being worked right in front of your face. JD is vying to be the president. He will never be elected president, but he will be president. Well, Nutty, how is that? Because we only have elections in this country. Well, see, do y'all remember last summer? Last summer, when the Democrats, the corporate Democrats, let me just specify. When the corporate Democrats, they were chirping in President Biden's ear. They were just chirping, chirp. You need to resign. You need to not run for president because you're too old. You're this, you're that, you're the other. Do y'all remember that?
Yeah,
and what
I do.
What did President Biden do?
He kept winning.
He dropped out. Now, the difference between President Biden and this POS that we have sitting in the Oval Office, a narcissist will not realize his own downfall. I said it to you before, Zeus, and I'm saying it again. I'm seeing Watergate being replayed. When we get enough Republicans to say to Donald Trump, if you do not resign, you will be impeached. And once the Republicans say you will be impeached, you can bet a removal is going to follow. That was the only way. If you know anything about history, during Watergate, that was the only way Tricky Dick decided to resign the presidency and to allow Gerald Ford to ascend to the presidency of the United States of America. And what did Gerald Ford, from my great state of Michigan, unfortunately, what did President Ford do as soon as he became president of the United States? What did he do for Tricky Dicky?
Power of the pardon.
He gave him a full and complete pardon. Does this not scream history repeating itself? Those who do not know history are doomed to repeat it.
Boom.
MAGA, you are allowing history to be repeated. You are allowing a criminal to go free.
Can you tie this into the deep state that they're trying to get rid of? Because this is how you got to talk to them.
Yeah, the deep state is the people you voted for.
W nutty.
And this owns the swamp, Zeus.
Oh
the
my
swamp.
God, he just blew.
He's supposed to be draining.
Yeah,
he built it in the Everglades. The very swamp that they keep saying, I voted for him to drain the swamp. He is the swamp monster. He is everything they call Democrats. Wow. He is everything they say that they stand against. Every MAGA what? Accusation is a MAGA what?
Confession.
It's been proven time and time and time and again. But yet, for some reason, this MAGA, this is why we say you are in a cult. Because no matter what we prove to you, no matter what facts we bring to you, no matter what statistics we bring to you, you are going to usurp those numbers. You're going to usurp the truth, and you're going to make it your own to justify in your head why it's not true and why it's the libtards that's coming after Donald Trump.
W Nutty. Oh, Nutty, you woke up with something today. Wow. Nutty's on fire. Wow.
I am tired of these people who claim to be patriots, who claim to be these wonderful U.S. citizens. I'm tired of them talking about things of which they don't know about at all.
Amen.
Don't speak on the Constitution when you don't even know how to spell Constitution. Ooh. And speaking of Constitution, before I get out of here, Zeus.
Yeah.
I do want to make a plug if that's okay.
Go for it.
You know I'm not one of those creators that go live.
Correct.
Starting this coming Sunday. I will be going live. Myself, along with a couple other creators, we are going to be doing a deep dive into the Constitution from the preamble to the 27th Amendment. On Sunday, it's going to be the introduction to the Constitution, and we're going to deal with the First and the Second Amendment. And we're going to try to deal with either 1 to 2 amendments per week. Our show is going to go every Sunday between 4 and 5 Central Standard Time.
There you go.
So that is no conflict with the kingdom. We did it purposely that way because there, the truth needs to get out there on every forum.
Amen.
Without competition.
Yeah.
I encourage you all to come. It's going to be myself. It's going to be Bunny. It's going to be Wakanda Songbird, and it's going to be Shay the Song.
Oh, okay.
So you have constitutional law professor, you have a historian, you have another educator, and then you have another person who's going to educate in her own right.
Wow. And is this going to be more of a lecture setup, or is this going to be engagement opportunities as well? Because I need to understand how the format works.
So this is going to be more of a lecture, what I do in the classroom.
Okay.
Now, in the comments, while we're breaking things down, of course, people can ask questions, and if we can get to them, we will absolutely get to them.
Yes.
But Zeus, it is important that people understand this document that we call the Constitution of the United States.
Yeah.
See, I'm anti-Constitution. Let me just make myself clear. I'm anti-Constitution. I'm very pro-amendments. Because that Constitution that they keep speaking of, Zeus, it didn't see me as a human being. It didn't see you as a human being. It didn't see women as being human beings either. It was written for white land-owning men.
And a lot of these so-called, these blagger folk, they don't know that. While they running around here acting like they better than everybody else.
So screw the Constitution. Give me the amendments. Because it was the amendments that saw me. It was the amendments that told my mama she had the right to vote. It was the amendments that told women they had autonomy over their own body. Give me the amendments.
Or give me death.
And Blaga, especially you, Blaga.
Get him.
If you're not afraid, and I'm going to speak like my brother Swervin.
Oh.
If you think you have the testicular fortitude, show up.
Amen.
Show up.
Yep.
Bruce, I appreciate you. Have a good day.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, W Nutty. And as you all can see, Nutty did not tell one lie. And if you, because I looked up what he told me to go look up, he didn't tell one lie. W Nutty. And thank you all, because that was a great wake up. That was a dopamine injection right there. I'll give it to you, Nutty. And you stayed on message. You didn't do it. Thank you for coming up. But Blaga, your days are truly numbered. All right, let's see if we can get Brother Q Dog in here. I haven't heard from you in a minute. Good morning, Q Dog.
What's going on, bro? Can you hear me now?
I can.
Loud and clear. Yeah, I was dealing with some medical issues for the past couple weeks, so I'm getting back to 100%.
All right. You okay though?
Yeah, I'm good. You know, appreciate the thoughts and prayers. It's been a whirlwind. I don't know if you heard the latest, because I haven't been on for a while. But they say that allegedly that Trump has a condition called chronic venous.
The Venus. Yeah. The swollen, the destroyed arteries. I'm not a medical expert, but yeah, I did hear about that. I call it the Epstein curse because you see his hand.
Yeah, exactly. See, the thing is, when you do the devil's work for so long, he makes you think that you're in power. He makes you think you're inferior until God steps in and says, you know what, I'm going to take you down by your knees. And with this, from what I understand, they call it CVI. It happens when your legs, the veins in your legs become damaged and can't work like they should. It's supposed to be the blood flow. It cuts off the blood flow to your heart. And you know, when you can't walk right, you can't strut right, like President Biden does. President Obama does when he's strutting and doing the right thing for the people. You're gonna break down. And I posted this. This is ironic. It's really crazy. You know, the Simpsons have been on point, like clockwork. And there was a post saying that Trump in August is supposed to be escorted out of the White House.
I've seen that. I have seen that. Yeah, and it's to me very alarming in a way because you're wondering like how many more of these signs must come to pass.
Exactly. But the other thing that we have to worry about is his silent henchman, J.D. Vance. If he can no longer, keep the place as president, then we got this buffoon to deal with. So we got to be on point and ahead of the game in these midterm elections. We got to come out like there's no tomorrow when it comes to this midterm election, because these fools they trying to take down this country with a tooth and a fork.
Yeah, you're spot on. And so with that being said, are you noticing any shifts going on with these Trump supporters? Because I don't know if you've been able to monitor, but I'm noticing the desire to carry the MAGA torch just isn't where it was.
No, that torch is going out like the flame at the Olympics. You know, once everything is done and said, what are you going to do to reignite that flame? Right now, they have no fuel for it. Everything is being tossed out to the side. And we need to keep our foots on their necks until the last MAGA is no longer standing. They're going to all go down just like Trump is slowly going down. You know, it starts with the dirty diaper. Now he's gonna need a walker and a cane pretty soon. He ain't gonna be able to walk, period.
You hear this? You hear this, you Trump supporters? And we're all watching. It's sad, but we all have to watch him rot. Rot in hell, right in
He's
front of
rotten.
us, right in front of us.
He's rotten by the waist. You know, you think the devil is going to give you power and think that you're going to be above him, when we all know who's in almighty power, and God just gives him just enough, give the devil just enough power to think that he's in control until he comes in and swoops off everybody. You see what's going on with these natural disasters, man. When I tell you, it's crazy. I was feeling a little bit better towards the end of last week. I was able to take my daughter down to Florida. They had the Georgia-Florida National Championship. She got her a ring. Got a 7th grade ring. And literally going through Dothan, Alabama, there was a tornado forming right in front of us. I stopped at a gas station, was going to get something to drink and let her use the restroom and whatnot. And she was like, "Daddy, that don't look right." The cloud was a funnel, literally right in front of us. I said, "We got to go. Let's go."
Wow.
And I was telling everybody, like, y'all get to y'all destination safely. Literally, it wasn't even 30 seconds down the street. The clouds just came in like buckets of water.
Yeah. Wow. Well, congratulations to your daughter, sir, and also I'm so glad safety was the priority. WQ dog, because we take safety very important around here, and you got to be able to read your signs, right? And you did the right thing. This is what MAGA doesn't understand. They can't read their signs, and so what Q Dog is explaining to you all is you got to be able to pay attention.
Yeah, you can't be looking down at your cell phone all the time, wondering what Trump's going to do next on your behalf. I'm looking up at the sky, seeing what's going on, how these clouds are forming, and literally, bro, when I tell you, one side of the sky was sunny and bright, and the other sky was dark
for the demons.
With that, I'll send you a picture of the funnel.
So the MAGA demons basically was on the one side, and then the other good, well-to-do folks trying to do the right thing, they was on the other side. And you basically described what we've been trying to illustrate. Yeah, please send me the photo. But there's one more thing I wanted to talk to you about. What do you think about these brothers on TikTok right now, Blaga especially, getting worked up about President Obama saying that they need to have friends that are gay or anything and stuff like that? Why are they getting so worked up about that? Because I was talking to him. You know who they are. The same usual suspects.
Exactly. My theory is they trying to find a safety net for themselves right now. Right now they're hanging by a string. And it's only a matter of time, like we both told them over and over again. They're not in your corner. Dame is one.
Dame, you hear this message? Q Dog is talking to you. You better listen up.
And it seems like when he's listening to me now, he's like, I agree with you, brother. And that's very rare for Dame. But the thing is, without work, your words mean nothing. You got to be able to put in the work to say, you know what, I'm gonna be done with this. I'm tired of the lies. I'm tired of the deception. We call them Decepticons.
Boom.
Because that's all they are. They're deceiving you on a day-to-day basis, thinking that you are going to be safe in your space.
Yeah.
Until they come kicking in your doors. Now, I saw something just recently in reference to ICE, where they went into it had something to do with children.
Yeah.
This is all they're doing. I mean, this is the devil at its best right now.
Yeah.
And y'all keep following the devil, you're gonna get what you're asking for.
First class trip straight to hell.
You're gonna get what you're asking for.
Yeah.
He's gonna give you all the crumbs to put in line for you to pick up. And you keep following that crumb line, you're gonna get something that you don't want.
Bingo.
Y'all better leave the devil alone and leave his works alone. let them fools fall to the wayside with him by themselves.
Amen.
'Cause if you don't, you're going to be right along with them. Then you're going to be wondering, Lord, please save me. No, it's too late. I done told you too many times. You wanted to do it your way. Now you're going to suffer the consequences.
Bingo. Bingo.
It is
Bingo.
what it is.
WQ dog. All right, brother. Well, listen, it's nice checking in with you.
Definitely. I'm still here, brother. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep working, and for these folks like conservative, Democrat, whatnot, that want to say blasphemous things.
Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing, buddy.
Yeah.
You're gonna start suffering just like Trump is.
Amen.
Keep doing what you're doing. Keep playing with God's name. You better put some respect on God's name. I'm trying to tell you that.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. All right.
I'm down here, brother. I got you all day, every day.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, ladies and gentlemen, WQ dog. All right. Let me bring up my good friend Shay. Wow, look at this. We have a nice little show today. I like it because it's straight to the point and folks are being honest. Good morning, Shay. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning, Zeus. Good morning, Kingdom. How's
Good
everybody?
morning. We're doing pretty good.
Yeah, good. I am glad that Nutty Professor Antifa announced what we're going to start doing next week.
Congratulations. I'll be supporting you as always, all right? Because you know we're in this together.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I love to, you know me, I love to talk history, but I do love to talk about the Constitution because it's not. A lot of people really don't understand how it works. It'll take the time to read. It's only 8 articles. It's not that long. But, you know, they don't understand how it was formed and how it got ratified. It's just interesting. And it's going to be great to work with Nutty. And, of course, my Bay Wakandan Songbird and Bunny.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be good. So we'll be excited as we're working through. But, you know, when you guys attend the first one, then just let us know if there's anything else you think we should, you know.
Well, the thing is, I say be consistent. The hardest thing is being consistent. I'll say that.
Absolutely.
But you're fine. You all are experts and great at what you do. So I'm looking forward to seeing it, and I'm definitely going to try to attend as much of it as I can because, you know, it's necessary.
Yeah, it is necessary. Education is necessary. And speaking of education, I wanted to clear up the NAACP award to Trump, if I could.
Go for it.
This is a lie that's been circulating the internet, and you know the white supremacists are just white Trump supporters and black Trump supporters, because I think that was MAGA that brought that up to you about the NAACP yesterday.
Oh, they did. Okay, I must not have heard it.
Yeah, he's not a racist. The NAACP gave him an award. Well, what they're missing is that the NAACP gave about 87 of these Ellis Island awards out. And what he got was the Ellis Island Award.
Oh.
And it had nothing to do with his support of the black community or his love of black people. Nothing to do with that. No. It had to do with the fact the Ellis Island Award celebrates people of different backgrounds and what they do for New York City. So he got the award for being basically a real estate developer and being of German background. That is why he got the Ellis Island Award from the NAACP. It had nothing to do with his work in the black community, his contribution to black art or history or
showing these brothers.
It had nothing to do with that.
Wow. And while you brought that up, I looked it up too, because I'm now starting to remember. This was the guy in my box yesterday, Glenn.
Glenn, yes.
Yeah, the MAGA, yes.
The packets,
yes.
And the George Comey's, yes.
Yes, him. And so what Shay has done is just debunked another one of these lies. It's really sad, Shay, when you have people this ignorant being so proud at the same time. Have you ever seen anything like this?
Oh, God, yeah, sadly, yes.
Gosh.
It's so funny when they just because we hear that a lot from MAGA, and I've seen a few white people do it too, and I just sit there and go, oh my God. And then they're always like, he was friends with Jesse Jackson and, all these guys. He was a celebrity, guys. He was a celebrity. See, I was born in 1970. We've grown up with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
He has been a celebrity and in the scene, and yes, he did things because he always wanted to be awarded something.
Yeah.
It was always a very narcissistic thing that he did. It's not that he really cared about the work of Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, or I mean, look what he did with John Lewis. If he really was into the advocacy of the black community, then why did he attack John Lewis? It was one of the greatest leaders of the civil rights movement that was still alive and marched with Martin Luther King along with Jesse Jackson.
Amen. Hit him with it.
Right, exactly. And I just sit there and go, you guys really don't know who he is. You've fallen for the okie doke because of the Apprentice show. And you just you don't know that that's what he was. He would do silly commercials, and he'd star in little B movies like Home Alone. Well, Home Alone's not a B movie, but he was a B actor, basically. Yeah, and he would, make little appearances here so he could look like the wealthy guy.
Yeah.
It was all showboat. It just never was anything that he, really cared about. Because if he did, then he would have attended, funerals of great legacy of black people. He would have done things like that. He never
giving eulogies and things like that. But he
never gave eulogies. Yeah.
Nasty.
No, he sat out on stuff because they didn't vote for him, So that's how much he cares about the black community. Well, they didn't vote for me, so I'm not gonna, come on, give me a break.
I mean, it ties into the point where I say the most dangerous thing in this country, honestly, Shay, it truly is, it's an uninformed Trump voter.
It is.
Because for you to actually position yourself the way that that gentleman did, coming up here and trying to convince himself, he didn't convince me, but he really has convinced himself that Trump isn't a racist. He's not a bad person, and that all his problems in life come from the Democrats. It just shows how dangerous this person is. Folks like that.
Yeah, no, it is. It really is. We can point out so many things that tells you that, whether he is a racist or but what we know for sure is that he doesn't stand for the black community, nor does he give a darn about them. So
no,
we know that for a fact.
Yeah.
I mean, when you hire your first term, all these white supremacists like Stephen Miller and Steve Bannon, right out of the gate, he messaged to people that it doesn't matter to him.
Yeah.
That none of that is. That's not a deal breaker. So we'll just put it there. I will never know what's in his heart and mind, and I don't really care to. But
evil and wickedness, definitely, for sure.
100%. We just know he's the supreme narcissist on the planet, so nobody's going to benefit whatsoever from him.
Bingo. Now, I did have another question, though. What do you think about Pam Bondi? They call her Scam Blondie. They call her that, right? Why now does she need to meet with Ghislaine Maxwell?
I was about to bring that up. Yeah, so I see Todd Blanche, his attorney that couldn't seem to get him out of some trouble.
Yeah.
Is going down to meet with Ghislaine Maxwell in prison. Yeah, this is going to be real interesting. All of a sudden, Ghislaine Maxwell is going to oh, what? No, I never, Trump never attended a party. Those pictures are AI. It's going to be interesting as to why they're going down and meeting with her. Why do they need to meet with Ghislaine Maxwell? Why can't they just release the files?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it absolutely screams cover up, Oblivious. It absolutely screams cover up. It's like they're running down there to talk with her and see what she knows, supposedly.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I don't know if he can pardon her. Is she in a state case or federal case?
Federal.
Oh, shit. So he can pardon her.
Yeah. He can try to pardon her, but, all that's going to do is implicate him more deeper and deeper into this mess that he's gotten himself into. What do you think is the only way he can get out of this situation with dignity and respect? Is it possible?
No, not on our side, but I can guarantee you they're already making excuses and saying, oh, he's not in there. If he was in there, Biden would have released it. I mean, they're doing the pretzeling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys need to go work for Auntie Annie's and, Wetzel's Pretzels.
Wow.
Y'all need to go get a job, but y'all twist that dough really well.
Yeah, they really do.
They really do. And so it's interesting to first they're kind of outraged and crying about it. And now they're like, well, he's probably not in there because, why didn't Biden release it? Because Ghislaine Maxwell was prosecuted under the Biden administration. She was sentenced in 2022. And so the discovery and all of that was sealed in New York.
Oh.
And it wasn't released until 2024. And also, Biden didn't run on releasing the Epstein files. He never promised you yahoos he would release it. No, left-leaning podcaster ever discussed it. It was not. Everybody kind of. This side knows he had dealings with Epstein. We're aware of who he is. Again, many of us grew up with him, and it just is kind of like, we know he's in there. I don't know, but we kind of know that once he won, that stuff was going to be sealed and never released.
Yeah.
The problem is those podcast bros and Pam Bondi promised them that they would have full transparency and be released. Now, it's interesting. Candace Owens did a whole thing about analyzation of Trump's response to releasing the Epstein files. Candace Owens.
Oh, what did she say?
Oh, yeah. So she is saying she's looking at all, like when he interviews and they ask him about the Epstein files, he hesitates. And she's like, he didn't give a solid answer. He didn't say he was going to release it or not. And did you notice how he hesitated, kind of hem-hawed and distracted off of it?
Wow.
He would play another interview segment where he was asked about it. And he's like, well, we're going to release the MLK and the JFK files. Well, what about the Epstein files?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Ain't that something?
Yeah.
So she's always looking for a black person to throw into the middle of this mess he got going on, whether it's MLK or Barack Obama. Ain't that something?
Isn't that something? Oh, the Barack Obama stuff. I talked about that yesterday. This is just cracking me up. They're salivating so hard to see that gorgeous man in an orange jumpsuit. And I hate to tell you guys, this isn't going to happen.
You don't think Obama's going to be arrested? Because Trump posted it on his social media. Look at conservative. Yeah, CD says he thinks Obama's getting arrested.
Yeah, no, it's not going to happen. For what? Calling a meeting?
It's really sad. Looking at just watching their little last brain cells try to give off some sort of sign of life. It's actually kind of hilarious.
He called a meeting. Oh my God, he called a meeting to get the information together, right? That's all he did.
Yeah.
He came out and literally said the voting machines were never tampered. He won the election fair and square. He never pushed it, nor did Mueller. Mueller said in his report it was only through influences of bots and stuff like that, on Facebook and Twitter and things like that. It was never. That's what they saw, that they interfered with misinformation so that people voted against Hillary. That was the influence of the Russian collusion, and that the campaign willingly accepted the influence.
Amen. W. Shay. They hate when you tell the truth, Shay. They hate when you tell the truth like that, and I'm going to just encourage you to keep reminding these people, because the truth, honestly, when they think about it, it will honestly set them free. All right, and they know this. They know this.
It will, and it's sad. But anyway, good to be up here, guys, and everybody have an awesome day.
All right. Then, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a huge round of applause. The beautiful Shay. No lies detected. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. You see, it's really awesome, ladies and gentlemen. It's a show of force this morning. We've been annihilating Trump supporter after Trump supporter all morning long, and there's really, at this point, ladies and gentlemen, no defense to what's going on. Good morning, Brother Val. Nice to see you bright and early. How are you doing?
How you doing, sir?
Doing pretty good. Just covering a lot of territory. Yes. Wonderful day. What do you got for us?
Everybody's starting. It's the work, right? It's what we do. It's what we do on this app and what we do in our personal lives to create the work to move us forward. And that's
thank you.
That is what that's what we should all be here for. We had had a great live yesterday. In here had a great live really across the board, and a lot of creators across the board doing what they're supposed to be doing. The thing that strikes me today is that nobody wants to come up and defend this man.
You're noticing it, huh?
Why doesn't anybody want to come up and defend this man? And I'll tell you why. Because you can't defend the indefensible. This is, I mean, he's painted himself into a corner in many ways, right?
Yeah.
You know, he's painted himself in a corner with, with the e-files. He's painted himself in a corner with, our economy. He's painted himself in a corner with his own health. These are things people that don't care get themselves into.
Yeah.
And that's...
You don't think the Democrats have done this to him?
No. No. It's like, it was the old saying, when they'd say, oh, the Democrats are weaponizing the judicial system to go after Trump. No, he's breaking the damn law.
Yeah.
Quit breaking the law, stupid. Anybody ever seen the movie?
Yeah.
These are the things, these are the things that he keeps doing. If you keep playing games with the Constitution, you're going to get burned. And that's what's happening to him right now. And then, with the e-files, guys, this is so obvious. A 3-year-old can pick this up.
Talk to him, Val.
I don't know why. I don't know why you have to look at this. First they exist. Then you have a letter. You have a letter going, or an email going from Pam Bondi to Kash Patel, explaining what she has on her desk. A list.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they come back to, well, the list doesn't exist. Well, hold on a minute. What'd she have on her desk?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, and then you go, we all know about the case with Maxwell, right? Well, she can blow all this up. They didn't even think about that. This is how non-prepared these people are.
Wow.
Okay? If you were going to do something like this and try to make this disappear, I think Elaine Maxwell should have been somebody you dealt with.
Right off top.
Right off the top. I mean, this is a woman that can blow your whole story up. Oops. Now they're having to go down and talk to her. Well, what do they really have to offer? I mean, there's only one thing she would want, right? I mean, everybody use your head in here. What's the only thing she would actually want?
Pardoning, to be pardoned, totally exonerated from everything, right?
Well, you can't be totally exonerated being pardoned, but it gets you out of jail, right?
Yeah.
So
there you go, freedom. She wants freedom.
Freedom.
What about Trump possibly doing something dangerous to her? Because that's one of the concerns out there.
Well,
Do you think he'll go that far? Because a cornered animal will do anything.
How much more obvious do you want to be?
Oh.
Okay, I mean,
how much more obvious? Because either way, it's obvious, right? So
you've backed yourself into a complete corner, and there's no winning way out.
Wow. So you don't think there's a way out for Trump with this?
No. If you pardon her, you've confessed.
Okay.
If she disappears, you've confessed.
Well, maybe he doesn't have to do anything. Will this go away?
No. This is not going away. Democrats aren't going to let this go, and Republicans, and there's a lot of Republicans that aren't going to let this go. People, this involved children. Things that involve children don't go away.
Tell them.
That's, what I'm saying? That's the way it's always been in this country. If, this is a country I grew up in that we waited almost 2 days to get a child out of a hole. Remember that?
Wow. Yeah.
Okay. This is when it involves children, the people in this country tend to pay attention as a group. This involves children. And the worst thing that you could possibly think of happening to children other than unaliving.
Right.
Okay. These things tend to be paid attention to. No, there's a lot of people on the right that aren't going to let this go.
Good.
You've got no real way out of it.
If he comes clean, would that absolve him?
No. It'll dissolve him. It'll dissolve him in God's eyes, right?
Yeah. So if he comes clean, you're of the mindset that if he does that, he would also have to admit he's done these things.
Correct.
You don't think there's a chance that he didn't do any of this and that he's just protecting people?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, but when I went to church, there was no such thing as a partial confession.
I never heard of one either. I never heard of one either. Wow.
So, but these things, no. He could come out and admit it. Now, that's when things get real, right? He comes out and admits this. How to support it. What do you do then, CD? What do you do then, DJ? What do you do then, Tiny TikTok Tim? Do you try to excuse it?
I mean, imagine Val. These folks have given Donald Trump everything they got. Everything.
Oh yeah.
You don't feel bad for him in the least bit of sense?
I can't feel bad for somebody that chooses this path. You've chosen a path where every piece of information you really need to make a logical decision is sitting in front of you, but yet you refuse to actually look at it. That's you know what I'm saying? I can't feel bad for you on that path.
We can't. Dang, that's something else. That's something else, Val, because it's to me, it's very difficult to have compassion for him because remember, we want to try to have safe space for him, but it's taking way too much effort. And so, yeah, I agree. We're at a point right now that if they're still in the cult and you're still listening to this show and you continue to prop this man up, I have to conclude you're a bad person, right?
Yeah, I mean, I may not conclude you're a bad person, but I am going to conclude that you're on the bad side of, you know what I'm saying, the bad side of things. Now, there's people that have that exception too. I mean, one of the Russian bears. When you start making statements that, certain groups of people taste better to alligators. These things, you're a bad person.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts about that.
She did say that.
When you keep marginalizing people, you're a bad person. I mean, when you're like, I'm sorry, Tiny TikTok Tim, but to me, you're not a good person.
Wow, Val, you're hitting them all across the board today. You haven't missed. So you believe Triple T is a bad person. Tiny TikTok Tim, the turkey neck part, we got to add that in there. You think he's a bad person?
Yeah, he's because he tries to use talking points that aren't real to begin with to justify. Okay, first off, what you're trying to use to defend needs to be justifiable on its own.
Yeah.
These things they try to use. DJ is a whole different story. DJ is just a person. He's the 3-year-old, right? He's the person that's why. You can't keep spinning.
Yeah. Keep doing it.
Right.
Evil.
Sometimes you realize that something you need to know about asking why or what if is you finally go back all the way around into the circle. You start where you began.
Amen. Hit him with it.
These are simple things. But those type of people you deal with in normal life, right?
Yeah, I do. Unfortunately, that's how I got the ability to just understand what's happening right now. It's somewhere along the way they've lost their way, right? For whatever the reason is, maybe something really traumatic happened, and they've subscribed to this mindset that Donald Trump will bail them out.
Here's one for you. Tiny TikTok Tim, how many people live in your neighborhood that walk out, you wave at, and they just wave back at you and keep on driving, but you've never said a word to them? Okay. Well, I'll tell you why they've never said a word to you, because they've probably had one instance with you where they've talked to you and you've said something and they're like, I don't want nothing to do with that. I have to live across the street from them, but I don't have to deal with them.
Wow. So he can't even read the signs from his own neighbors. This is isolation at its highest level. Do better, MAGA. Do better. This is sad, to be honest with you. And there's so many people out there like him. That's the sad part, right?
Right.
Wicked.
There's a lot of people out there like him. I mean, we deal with a lot of, we deal with a lot of people that get caught up in the talking points. I talked about this, you know what I'm saying? I talked about this on my live yesterday where I ran into a person Saturday that wanted to, at a birthday party. And we're at a birthday party. He's like, oh yeah, Obama's been caught. He's been busted. All the proof is out. And I'm like, and this came out of the blue, right? Keep in mind, nobody at the table was talking about politics. Okay?
Yeah.
Birthday party. This comes out of the blue. Oh, yeah, Obama gets busted. Yeah, all the proof is out there. Da, 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 da. I said, what proof?
What proof?
Look on his face. It was priceless. I said, what proof? Well, he pulled in they have a message where he got, he was told that there was no election interference. I said, in 2015? And he goes, yeah, it's 2015. I said, when did we determine there was election interference from Russia?
Yeah.
He goes, what do you mean? I said, not with machines, but election interference in our social media and our advertising and stuff like that. He goes, well, and I said, well, because what Obama got was saying that they've never got into any of our machines. They've never got into our system.
Yeah.
And then he goes, oh, so I pulled it up for him, and I said, this was something that's been checked on by presidents long before Obama. And he goes, well, I said, but this had nothing to do with the Hillary and, Trump campaign or lesson. It had nothing to do with it. This was something that was being checked on outside by our intelligence agencies.
Wow.
Well, and then he left the party.
He left the party. He didn't want to. You ruined the party for him. W Val. You know what? And this is to me. The beautiful thing about what you said is it describes kind of like what our days are really like, right? Outside of the app, right? I have to deal with it. As soon as this show ends, because there's people that watch the show that know me, as soon as I get off, actually it starts as soon as I wake up, oh, Obama is going to prison, right? This and that. Like today, Attorney General Pam Bondi put out what she put out. You know what this Trump supporter said to me, Val? I kid you not. I'm reading it to you. We want the court records unsealed. Fire Pam Bondi. This is designed to be a he said, she said mess. And this is a Trump supporter. Right? They're not happy with Pam Bondi doing what she's doing, trying to go meet this Ghislaine Maxwell situation. And of course they bash me because I don't let them stop. I don't stop talking about it. I go, yeah. You got Obama. First thing I respond is, when is he going to prison?
He's not.
When is Joe Biden? Because he started an investigation about Biden and the auto pen.
Right, yeah, he's not. I mean, these are the auto pens out forever. I don't even know why this is even a conversation.
Me either. And but Val, under normal conditions, it would be. Think about if we didn't have the e-files in the background and he was doing these things, these would be the things we'd be arguing about. That's the craziest thing, right?
Right. But I mean, it's really a dumb argument. I mean, the auto pen's been around for over a couple decades. I don't know why these things, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why this is even a conversation. Every president's used it to sign documents or to get things signed or to sign certain things because, man, I don't know, guys. I mean, if all the president was doing was signing stuff every day, he'd never get anything done. There's times you have to use these things. I mean, come on. We're dealing with a country of 350 million people, folks. Come on.
There's no way he could sign every single thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not. It's it's an impossibility. You know what I'm saying? Be smart about this. But no, those aren't the thing. I don't know why this is even an argument. Did he sign it? Did he intend to sign it? Was his intention to sign it? Yes.
Bingo. And he's already came out and honestly said everything that he signed, he stands behind signing it, including the pardon. So case closed. There you go.
Right. Do you think Donald Trump actually sat there and signed 1,700 pardons?
No.
No, he did not. That was done by the auto pen.
Bingo. Thank you. All right, Val. Well, listen up, brother. As always, I appreciate you having the courage to come up here and tell the truth and shame the devil, all right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, give Val a Huge round of applause. Oh my goodness. All right. Good morning. Oh, who do we have here, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning, Bamba. How are you?
Hey, good morning. Can you hear
Welcome.
me?
I can hear you. Long time no see. What's going
Yes, we
on?
tried this before and I couldn't be heard, but
Yes, now I can
um
hear you.
yeah, I appreciated Val. It brought off remember we are the world. We
Yeah.
are the children or I'd like to buy the world a Coke. Do you remember that?
I don't know the world to buy a Coke part, but who
Oh,
sings
it was
that? Who sings that?
you might not have been here then. You might
Yeah.
not have been born yet, but
Yeah.
it was where everybody was holding hands. There was a group called Up With People. It was really corny, but everybody loved it.
Yeah.
And they hold hands and go around the world. Well, Coca-Cola decided they were gonna
70s. Okay.
use
Yeah.
it
That's
for
before.
the. Oh, okay. So there was a song. I'd like to buy the world a Coke, and everybody was holding hands around the world. It was kind of cool. So there were, and I mean, Quincy Jones was awesome when he put that "We Are the World" together. That was, and then
Yeah.
we had Farm Aid, and they would have fundraisers. That was Willie Nelson and traveling around. And
Yeah.
I went to a Wailing and Willie Nelson concert that was free. They went to all these states and did free concerts because of the unemployment.
Yeah.
So I mean, there are things that we did that brought people together. Just
Correct.
recognized everybody's suffering.
Correct.
So it was nice. Thank you, Val, for bringing that up. And the other thing I wanted to, what I'm concerned about, because I listen to the military stuff and what's going on around the world.
Yeah.
There's a few things I'm worried about.
Give it to
One
us.
is, they're trying to callous our minds, right? So what they're doing with the immigrants and these concentration camps, they're trying to toughen your mind and your soul that you would even accept that.
Make you numb to it, so to speak.
Yeah, and then when you turn around and you're seeing Gaza at the same time, that is just, and it's
It's
also happening in
overwhelming.
Sudan. And so when we saw that years ago, we all raised money to buy these people food. Do you see any of us singing about it now? Do you see they're sending people with mega influencers? Did you see that? I put that up. There was
What?
sending mega influencers here in
Wow.
the United
And
States
where are they sending them?
a free tour to Israel.
Wow. It's totally the opposite of us coming together, huh?
Yeah, and I'm like,
What
whoa.
a sick and This is sad. This is
Yes,
pathetic.
yes. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And then here's the thing that, Central Command. We
Mm.
have two new generals that are Central Command. One is
Right.
of Europe and one is of Africa. And even though they said they didn't want it for NATO, they went ahead and took it. They took
Yeah.
the command for NATO. He's telling everybody that we are going to be in World War III.
Trump is?
No, the Central Command, the
Oh wow.
generals of European Central Command. I put a post up in 2027.
Yeah. Wow. So you think there's going to
18
be
months away.
you think at the direction we're heading, we're going towards more conflict or less?
More, and they're pushing China. They're
Mm.
pushing China so hard,
But I thought we
and
were
we're
going to
all
end it.
believing it. And I'm thinking, okay, China does some bad stuff. I mean, I'm not a fan.
You all think we're heading towards a lot of people are believing that we're heading more and more towards conflict. I see the comments.
What they're saying now, they're admitting. Well, no, now they're pushing. Here's what they're pushing.
Mm.
They're saying that China and Russia will work as one. So they're saying is what will happen if Putin isn't stopped in Ukraine,
Yeah.
that he keeps plans on going, and we know he plans on going. But the other thing is that they're saying Xi will start. He will do Taiwan at the exact same time by
I've heard that.
2027.
Wow.
So,
Wow. Do you have any confidence in like Pete Higgs? I call him Pete Higgs, bro. Do you have any confidence in him?
I can't even talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, you just hit my gut. I mean,
Yeah.
in the back of my throat, or tears behind my eyes.
Yeah. Wow.
These are, I mean, that's the highest military position in our land, in the world. That is one of the most powerful places on the planet.
I
People on the
agree.
planet. Do you know there are America? Guys, I wish you knew NATO, Europe.
Yeah.
They're trying to work around us.
And do you blame them though? Because
No,
you see the person sitting there.
It's the weirdest, saddest position to be in.
Mm.
Is to hope that somebody can stop your president.
And it's not going to happen anytime
I
soon.
mean, that's not. I loved my country.
Yeah.
And I say that in past tense. I still love my country, but to hope that other leaders can stop ours, that's like freaky, weird, total alien, right?
Yeah, because you would think he would have a lot more respect for our allies, right? But when you
Right.
hear about what he's doing with Canada, and you hear about how he's
Brazil.
disrespecting Mexico, he's actually trying to do what he's doing in Brazil.
Yeah.
And then, the EU and NATO and stuff like that, you just had to ask yourself, is he really looking out for us here in the United States? So based on what you're saying to me, do you feel more safer or less safer with this
man.
administration?
Here's the thing. This is what really freaks me out, because the things they don't talk about. We are in more danger than we have ever been. And there was just a hero. He's a superhero in Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
And he was speaking to NATO, and he was speaking to a bunch of countries that are trying to get themselves prepared for, imminent war.
Yeah.
And he said, look, they took me to a NATO base, and he said, and they showed me everything. And they asked, was I impressed? And he said, no. He said, my drone operators would have this looking like Pearl Harbor.
Wow.
In a matter of minutes.
Wow.
So the thing is we aren't even aware as Americans what weaponry is really defeating an army. So Putin has a ton of people that go to the meat grinder.
Wow.
But he doesn't have any tanks left.
Wow. I've heard about this. I've watched the conflict.
I watch these videos every day. So
yeah.
I mean, while I'm talking to you, I'm getting flashes of what's going on in
Lord
Ukraine.
Have mercy.
Yeah. So we as Americans say, "Oh, we're so strong. We're arrogant in everything we do, guys." I mean, we have to humble ourselves.
Yeah.
And you have to realize that this isn't going to stop at our border. These are going to fly over your house. You're going to sit on your porch, and you're going to see these drones go by, and you're going to say, holy crap. You're going to hear them hit your neighbor's house, and your neighbor's house is going to go poof.
Yeah. Well,
You're
we're going to keep standing
down
up.
the road and see it, and they're going to poof you. I mean, the Russians, for fun, hunt civilians with these FPV drones, these little ones that your kids have in their backyard. Those are the ones that are most, what's the word? Hurt you the most.
Yeah, they cause the most damage, and they're actually economical as well. So, you know what we're going to do, Bamba, because I have to get up out of here. But we're going to keep getting the word out here, and we're going to keep making sure everybody understands just how dangerous Donald Trump and his administration is, because we all know what they're doing. They're hell bent on destroying this great country of ours. All right, my good friend.
Yes, it's the things they're not talking about, and then the people that represent them are talking about on the other side of the globe.
Yeah, but we're going to keep on getting the word out there, whether they want us to.
People. Yes, be humane.
Be humane. All right,
yes.
Bamba.
Thank you.
W Bamba in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. No, love you too. No lies detected. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, listen up. We're going to conclude this special, amazing broadcast. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Another great show. We totally destroy every single Trump supporter out there. There's not a. I'm actually happy because, thank you. Like Val said, I didn't think we would get here. Only 6 months in, I didn't think it would come this fast. Whether none of his distractions, ladies and gentlemen, none of them are working. Not one of them. All right. We know the big, beautiful bill, all the bad stuff, they have it scheduled to happen in 2026 after the midterm. So that's going to be something we got to navigate with precise and with precision. So, and we're going to call out the things that are actually going on with that too. But we got no deals, 90 deals, 90 days. We don't have those deals. Okay. The price of eggs, they say, have gone down. Okay, whatever. But it hasn't came down like he said it would go down. And you know what has gone up? The price of beef, ladies and gentlemen. Meat is starting to cost more. Our utility bills, they haven't been cut in half. As a matter of fact, they've doubled, if anything, right? He said he got rid of inflation. No, he did not. Inflation's already going right back up. Probably going to go higher than it went under Joe Biden. But Joe Biden had it. It was because of what Donald Trump did during the C-19. But the country is in shambles right now. And then while all of these bad things are happening, ladies and gentlemen, you have the e-files just hovering over the White House. You got natural disasters. You got the president of the United States with the Epstein curse, his swollen ankles and the Epstein hand, ladies and gentlemen. And his supporters, believe it or not, they see the writing on the wall. They see the writing on the wall. They know that their goose is cooked like it's never been. And this is exactly the position that I didn't think we were going to get here in 6 months, but we're here, MAGA. All right. And so with that, I want to give each and every single one of you who've been a part of all this incredible work a huge round of applause. Do not let up at all right? Do not let up. I also want to give a special thank you to all the subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists. Because without you, this show wouldn't be possible, all right? Seriously. But before I get up out of here, I got to give one last round of booze and shame. And you know exactly who these booze and shame go out to. It goes out to each and every single one of you so-called Christians out there, all you Zeus haters out there. These are not just my haters, ladies and gentlemen. These are also your haters. They lie and cover up Donald Trump's dirty, disgusting deeds, even at their own demise, all right? And they do it all in the name of so-called worshiping Jesus Christ. You're not followers of Christ. You're hypocrites. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and send them straight to hell. Get them out of here.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and on that note, we are out of here. Take care and stay safe out there in those TikTok streets. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. Have a great rest of your morning. Let's go. Hey, MAGA, y'all gotta hang it up right now because I've totally destroyed you, especially on this app. Big Zeus is destroying these Trump supporters. They have nothing to stand on. WCD. Take care. Want me to connect the dots? You know what we do. Let's go. Zena, Zena. We'll be back tomorrow, same Zeus time, same Zeus, W Craig. They don't like me because I get out here and I tell the truth every single day, but somebody has to do it, right? W Juicing. W Zena, let's go. Connect the dots. go, Queen. W Little Hawk. Let's go. All right, hold on. I'll give you a little more. Wow. Wow, that's good. Wow. That scared the life out of me, Kabira. Thank you. All right, they said, thank you, Kabira. Let's go ahead and do a little more 1600 Pennsylvania ad. We gave you a little dose. I'll give you one more, all right? I'll let you know. I'm going to play, should I do executive orders? Should we play executive orders, ladies and gentlemen? All right, I'll play executive orders. You're twisting my arm. All right, here it goes. Executive orders. And then we're out of here. Here it goes.
Call me Zeus, I'm off no stress. Sign my name, make the rules no less. Do what I wanna do, need no vote. Executive orders got the game in control. Breaking the law, yeah, bending that code. Power in my pen, yeah, watch it explode. 1600, know I'm running that show. Trap king, yeah, I'm making it glow. Walk in the room, go chain ice cold. Got the power, you know I'm on code. Sign on the line, yeah, world's on pause. Executive order, you know I got the law. Senators, man, they can't do nothing. Pin like a Glock, you know I'm always dumping. Whole office, yeah, I'm always calling shots. Red tape going, you know I'm tired of knots. Trap sound boom, make the speakers go quick. Signs of the orders make the whole ground shake. Ops wanna talk, but they move too late. Got the word and the law decide they fake. 1600, no, that's my domain. Every move clean, yeah, feel insane. Cross that line, rewriting the game. Executive flex, put respect on my name. They talking in checks, I'm writing the crease. One signature, bring the game to its knees. Constitution, man, yeah, twist that script. Word is away, yeah, watch the world drift. Secret Service, yeah, they got that throne. 1600, no, I'm bad to the bone. Rules in the way, I erase that line. Trap got stats, make the stars align. Ops wanna sue, but they're tucked in the court. Move real fast like I'm whipping that Porsche. Heat going wild, trying to dim my torch, but I'm too lit, got the game going storage. Every order hit, yeah, billboard vibe. Breaking all the lanes now, it's time to switch sides. 1600, no, I'm setting up pace. Trap king, animal, crown on my face. Call me Zeus, I'm off no stress. Sign my name, make the rules no less. Do what I wanna do, need no vote. Executive orders got the game in the choke. Breaking the law, yeah, bending that code. Power in my pen, yeah, watch it explode. 1600, know I'm running that show. Trap king, yeah, I'm making it glow. Pull up to the pin, yeah, block stay hot. Gold on my wrist, yeah, dripping non-stop. Executive move, make the whole game stop. Pin and grenade, watch the pin get popped. Talking these limits, I don't see no cage. Right on the script, but the world is a stage. 1600, know I'm calling up blitz. Signing these words, got the bag in my grips. Fans wanna block, but they moving too slow. Words I spit like the fuse gon' blow. Trap so heavy in the baseline thumping. Every decree got the whole world jumping. From the west wing, I'm controlling that vibe. Rules on my way, I'ma let it subside. 1600, know I'm setting that tone. Trap emperor, I'm bad to the bone. Ink on the page, just all no debate. Where I'm at, I'm sealing they fate. Breaking every chain, making weight at the gate. Pen in my hand, I'm carrying the weight. Everywhere I drop, it's a hit, no miss. Trap God fucking got the game, no fist. Senator shook, trying to steal my reign. I'm too quick, switch rules, bring the pain. Challenge the throne, and the throne stay lit. Sign one line, make the whole world split. Fans illegal, and they can't indict. Time too bright, I'm a spark of the night. Call me Zeus when I'm running the board. Pen is a blade, cut like a sword. One signature and the world's on the cord. Track king, yeah, doing the will of the Lord.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. I'll see you all tomorrow. Same Zeus time, same Zeus channel. Take care. Have a great rest of your morning. We are out of here.